Have you ever been alone in your house, completely silent, and then heard something? A whisper, a faint sound, maybe even your own name. But when you look, there's no one there. It's an unsettling feeling, isn't it? For me, it's not just a feeling. It's a reality. I hear a voice calling from empty rooms. And the strangest part? It's my own voice. It started subtly. A brief murmur from the hallway as I was making coffee. I'd pause, listen, and then dismiss it as the house settling or the wind outside. But then it became clearer. I'd be reading on the couch, and from the empty bedroom upstairs, I'd hear my own voice say a single word. Hello. My blood would run cold. I'd creep up the stairs, heart pounding, only to find nothing. Just a still, silent room. You might think I'm losing my mind, and trust me, that thought has crossed my own mind 1,000 times. But this is different. This voice, it feels real, tangible. It's not just in my head. It has a location, a source. The kitchen, the attic, the basement. It moves. And it's always my voice, exactly as I hear it when I speak, but with a different cadence, a different emotion. Sometimes it sounds curious, sometimes sad, sometimes insistent. The most unnerving part is what it says. It's not just random words. It's connected to me, to my thoughts. One afternoon, I was stressing about a work deadline, completely consumed by anxiety. And from the empty study, I heard my voice, clear as day, say, "It's going to be okay." I froze. It was so calm, so reassuring. How could it know what I was thinking? How could it respond to a fear I hadn't even spoken aloud? This is what I mean when I say it always knows what I'm thinking. It's like having an echo of my own consciousness, but one that lives in the physical spaces around me. When I'm feeling lost, it might whisper a piece of advice I desperately needed to hear. When I'm reminiscing about a happy memory, I might hear a faint laugh from the other room, a shared moment with myself. I've tried to explain this to friends. They look at me with a mixture of concern and disbelief. Maybe it's just your inner monologue, they suggest. But an inner monologue doesn't have a physical location. You don't hear your thoughts coming from behind the shower curtain. They tell me to see a doctor, to get my hearing checked, to consider therapy. And I understand why they say that. It's the logical conclusion. But logic doesn't quite fit here. I've set up recorders. I've spent hours listening back to static, hoping to catch it, to prove to myself that it's real. And a few times I have, faintly, buried under the hiss of the empty room, I can just make out a word, an utterance in my own voice. The validation is terrifying and exhilarating all at once. It makes you question everything. What is consciousness? Is it confined to our brains? Or can it leak? Can a piece of our awareness imprint itself onto the places we inhabit? Think about it. We pour so much of ourselves into our homes, our joys, our sorrows, our anger, our love. All that energy, all those intense emotions. What if, for some of us, that energy takes on a form? What if it learns to speak? The voice has never been malicious. It's never told me to do anything harmful or said anything cruel. It's more like a guardian, a lonely, spectral companion that is me, but also not me. It's a version of myself that seems to have a wider perspective, one that isn't bogged down by the immediate panic or stress of the moment. It's the me that has already seen the outcome. Like the time I was about to make a huge financial decision. I was pacing my living room, my mind racing, running through all the worst-case scenarios. I was about to pick up the phone and commit. Then, from the dining room, my voice said very clearly, "Wait," just that one word. It was so firm, so certain, that it stopped me in my tracks. I didn't make the call. And a week later, new information came to light that showed me what a disaster that decision would have been. It saved me. How? Is it a ghost? Is it possible to be haunted by yourself? Or is it something else entirely? A psychic phenomenon, a glitch in the fabric of reality, a time slip where I'm hearing a future or past version of myself? I've gone down every rabbit hole online, reading about everything from auditory pareidolia to theories about quantum entanglement in consciousness. Nothing quite explains the experience of hearing your own voice, filled with an emotion you aren't currently feeling, called to you from a place where no one is standing. Living with it has become my new normal. I don't jump every time I hear it anymore. Sometimes I even respond. I'll be in the kitchen and hear a thoughtful from the living room, and I'll say out loud, "What are you thinking about?" Of course, I never get a direct answer. It's not a conversation. It's more like catching fragments of a broadcast from another dimension, a dimension that happens to be populated by another me. It's made me more attuned to my surroundings, to the quiet moments. It's forced me to confront my own thoughts and feelings because apparently they have a habit of manifesting and speaking to me. It's a constant reminder that the line between our inner world and the outer world might be thinner than we think. The loneliest part is that it's an experience I can't truly share. I can tell you the story, but you can't feel the chill that runs down your spine when your own voice calls your name from the darkness at the top of the stairs. You can't know the bizarre comfort of hearing yourself offer reassurance when you feel like you're falling apart. It's a profoundly personal, isolating phenomenon. I've come to think of it as my house's memory. My memory. The walls have absorbed my life, and now they're playing it back to me, piece by piece. The empty rooms aren't really empty. They're full of me, full of every thought I've ever had, every word I've ever spoken, every emotion I've ever felt. And sometimes when the house is quiet, when I'm quiet, they speak. So the next time you're alone and you think you hear something, don't be so quick to dismiss it. Listen closely. It might just be the house remembering. It might just be you calling out from another room, from another moment, just to let you know that you're not really alone. I don't know what this is, and maybe I never will, but I'm not afraid of it anymore. It's a part of my reality now. A strange, inexplicable, and deeply personal mystery that I live with every single day. The mystery of the voice in the empty room. My voice. Have you ever experienced something like this? Something you just can't explain? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. That's good to know I'm not the only one listening to the whispers in the silence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.